FC Barcelona have a problem that many teams around the world would love to have. Too much damn talent. Too much talent on the roster. Let me explain. We're talking about a front line that has to satisfy a Lionel Messi, a Malcolm, a Ousmane Dembele, Felipe Coutinho, and their spearhead, El Pistolero, Luis Suarez. Then you got a midfield who are set to acquire a Frankie De Jong. They have an Arturo Vidal. They have a Sergio Roberto. As far as I'm concerned, he's still there. As far as I'm aware, and Arthur, Sergio Busquets. But the defense, it's a bit lacking, and we'll talk about that because Matthias de Ligt has been linked with Barcelona. Antoine Griezmann has been linked with Barcelona. Frankie De Jong is coming to Barcelona. But in order to make all that happen, they need to sell. They need to have a fire sale. They need to sell Samuel Umtiti. They need to sell Felipe Coutinho. They need to get rid of Ivan Rakitic. Ivan Rakitic has been run into the ground, much like his counterpart at Real Madrid, Luka Modric and Toni Kroos. With Frankie de Jong coming in, they can have a lot more flexibility in the midfield with a guy who can play attacking or sit back and distribute the ball sometimes. With a signing like Antoine Griezmann, they have the ability to deploy a striker who, if they decide to play in a 4-3-3, can fall back into the hole between the wingers and the midfielders in front of the two midfielders. So they have that ability, and at the same time they can still deploy anybody on the left wing, the likes of Ousmane Dembele or Malcolm, and they can still satisfy Lionel Messi's style of play because Lionel Messi occupies some of the same parts that Felipe Coutinho occupies. They both love to play up the middle. So with Felipe Coutinho gone, he kind of gets out of Lionel Messi's way. You start playing in front of Frankie De Jong and Sergio Busquets, who are great midfielders, and I mean, it feels like Sergio Busquets has been in Barcelona for decades, ages. He's been there. I feel like he's been there for ages. So we're talking about a good problem for Barcelona because although Samuel Umtiti has endured some injuries, his partner Jason Murillo has been injured. And Longelet, the other center back, has taken on that second center back role. Oftentimes the first center back role because of Umtiti's injuries. Nonetheless, Barcelona is going to be fine. All they have to figure out is the finances because this team, as far as I'm concerned, is going to win the UCL should they make this happen. Should they make a Matthias de Ligt signing? Should they sign someone like Antoine Griezmann to be their next striker? I don't see another home for Antoine Griezmann. I do not see him in Juventus. It's very obvious that Juventus is better off building around Ronaldo with complementary pieces. And Barcelona is the perfect place for Antoine Griezmann to thrive. A shifty front line, guys who can play multiple positions, and we all know he can play multiple positions for sure. But because of the style of play that they like to play, he can fill that hole up front. Luis Suarez is past his prime, people. He's not going to be the same guy that he was at Liverpool, the same guy the last few years for Barcelona. We've seen the droughts, and they're coming far too often. And they're going to come more. So this isn't like Bayern Munich where they've just exhausted their capabilities. And it doesn't look like that because Bayern has no competition but Dortmund in Bundesliga. But Bayern has exhausted their capabilities and they're due for a young rebuild. Barca is in a good position because they have veteran leadership and they have young talent coming in and is coming in at the moment as well. So it's very exciting to see what they're gonna do. I expect these guys to be UCL winners. Should they make a great summer